Hey everybody, welcome. I am Mexus. With Days Gone getting ready to release in just a few days, I thought now would be a great time to talk about what you can expect from Days Gone before purchasing or pre-ordering the game, because honestly, a lot of people think that Days Gone is just your next typical zombie survival game, but from what we have seen so far, Days Gone is far from that. So with that said, let's begin. This action-packed zombie-like survival game takes place in the Pacific Northwest and tells the story of a bounty hunter named Deacon St. John, who must survive on a planet that's been completely wiped of humanity after a global disaster, which would be a virus, brings about the end of the world as we know it. Now, with over 90% of the population being transformed into what's called freakers, which are zombie-like creatures that are not human or zombie, you'll have to progress through this very story-driven game as you encounter and experience everything from a dynamic world and weather system to a horde of thousands of freakers chasing after you while you try to get away on your motorcycle. Now, the devs have said the game is going to be very story-based, which means that if you want to actually progress through the game and see different things happening, you will have to play the main campaign and do all the missions. But at the same time, you still will have the freedom to explore the world as you choose and please, and you can do that from the beginning of the game, midway through the campaign, or even after you complete the campaign. You can still explore as you want to. Now, one thing I've already mentioned once or twice already in this video is the dynamic world and weather system, which is by far the coolest thing I have seen so far in this game. And I kind of want to touch up on that a little bit more. So for example, say there's another human outpost that you just don't like or maybe having some issues with, there's multiple ways you could go by dealing with them. So one thing you could do is actually drag an entire freaker horde, so just hundreds of freakers, to that outpost and just watch the mayhem that you just caused unfold as freakers go after all the humans in that outpost, and you can just kind of come on through afterwards after the whole thing's done with. Or maybe you're more like me where your playstyle is trying to be a little more sneaky and silent. Another thing you could do is actually just sneak your way through the camp and attack the camp as silently as possible. Or maybe you want to get a sniper rifle and sit up on a hill or a cliff from across the way and snipe into the outpost as well, because that is something you can do. It's really up to you how you want to take on things like this. But the weather system in this game is something I have personally never seen done so well in any previous game before. So for example, if there's a storm and it's raining and there's thunder and lightning, that doesn't just mean that Deacon just looks wet, but the actual bike itself will have traction issues on the road. Or if you're like on a dirt road, for example, your bike actually might slow down as you go through mud and stuff like that too. The other really neat thing is that freakers will actually have a harder time hearing you while you're using your bike during a thunderstorm, obviously, because of the actual thunder. And I think just little details like that is going to make this game really stand out really well. And now to add to all of that, what the clip you're seeing right now, guys, is actually snow coming down and building up slowly over time. So this game, when it switches to different seasons or climates, it's not just going from grass to snow instantly. The snow will actually come down slowly and just build up over time, which I have personally never seen that in any other game before. It's truly amazing. Now let's talk a little bit about the crafting system and upgrade system in the game. So you can craft makeshift weapons and attachments. So for example, you can put a makeshift pop silencer, a pop bottle silencer on your pistol and shoot it, and it'll be somewhat silent. And you make these just by scavenging throughout the world and finding the resources and materials needed as you explore and can craft as you need to. Now, if you want to get the best weapons and attachments in the game from what we know so far anyway, the only way to do that as of now is to just go to an outpost and purchase them there. Now, from what I've personally seen, it does not look like there's any other like armor attachments or anything like that that you can craft. It's purely weapons and traps and equipment, stuff like that. Now, along with that, we also do have upgrades for the bike as well. Now, the bike itself, guys, this thing is basically your bloodline in a sense. This will probably be the thing you use the most throughout the game. It's the only way you can be able to get around the map anyway fast. And this bike does have repairs, and it does require fuel too. So if you are not prepared, you might get yourself in a really bad situation. Now, as you're progressing through the game, you'll get the chance to actually upgrade the bike, and all you have to do basically is earn favor from different outposts and stuff like that. And that is how you can essentially unlock different upgrades for the bike. And for me personally, I prefer it to be this way because it means you can't just buy the upgrades just with some type of currency in the game. You actually have to do things to unlock the upgrades for it itself. And the last thing I just want to touch up on is the freakers themselves, because they're not like normal zombies that you'd see in a normal zombie survival game. According to one of the devs, the freakers are more alive than that, and they actually do still have some type of brain function going on up there. Which means that these things are not just brain dead. They actually know what's going on into a sense, and they will travel in groups, and they will come at you if they think you're easy prey. And they'll also even go after wildlife itself and hunt it down, which is a pretty cool thing too. So not only do we have semi-smart zombies now, we also have the different types of them, which there are a few that I've seen so far just from previous trailers. So from what I've seen, we have this really big, strong-looking one, which I'm sure will take a lot of bullets and be hard to kill. We have the Screechers, we have just the hordes themselves, but we also have kid zombies. This is probably the first zombie game I'll ever be playing where there's actually children zombies, which is a pretty big step for a game like this, I think, personally. And what's really interesting is all the zombies work in a different way. So like the big strong one, he's gonna come at you, he's gonna be very aggressive. The Screecher will just obviously scream and just bring hordes to you. And the little kid ones will not come at you unless they think you're an easy target or are weak. And I think that is just such a cool feature to have in this game. Now, I know this was not a ton of detailed information. Unfortunately, this is just what I was able to gather from other trailers I've seen so far here on YouTube and some other posts I found across Reddit from some of the devs. But let me know what you guys think down below in the comment section of this game, and if you are excited, please make sure to leave a like on this video, because I am excited too. It's going to be great. I'll be posting a few more videos leading up to the launch of this game, and from there we'll be getting into a ton of different guide videos for this game, so make sure you guys stay tuned for that. So thank you so much for watching. I will see all of you in the next video.